Yo, what's going on, fellas? He's, of course, Matt. I'm, of course, Jason. We're hanging out here talking Premier League Match Week number 13. Ignore the thumbnail. The thumbnail is wrong, but the title and the description of this video is accurate. We're here to talk Premier League. We got some midweek action. That was very nice and warmed us up here to the weekend action. But now let's focus. We got all the games in action. Matt, the only thing I'll say is before we head into this weekend is, man, I was really disappointed that Arsenal City game got canceled midweek. Obviously, Arsenal had to make up their game against PSV in the Europa League, but I was just ready. Now, I don't know when that fixture gets, maked up, but are we going to have a title race? And I was just disappointed we didn't get that fixture.
I think that Arsenal are fortunate that that fixture didn't happen at that time. I think that they would have gotten a pissed off Man City coming off a loss against Liverpool, and I think that it would have been bad. I think it was actually really good for Arsenal to have that Europa match against PSV, and
it's a good way to look at it.
Get the job done there. They don't look great doing it. They rotate a little bit. They rest a little bit. Probably a nice bonus for Arsenal to not play that match that day.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about the coming off the Liverpool angle and then being a little upset. So that is a nice angle. All right, well, let's go ahead now and jump on into match week number 13. Let's break down these 10 games, give away some bets along the way. Let's first go ahead and kick it off. It's Saturday morning, Nottingham taking on Liverpool here. This to me, and I don't want to use the word like smash spot, Matt, for Liverpool, but we saw what they did against the newbie Bournemouth earlier, beating a 9 season. The reason I want to hesitate just a little bit on being smash spot is because of Liverpool's injury concerns. And the 70th minute, when they're up maybe 2-0, 3-0, they just don't have the legs and the attacking quality to throw on right now like they would. I mean, what they do against Rangers, remember when Salah and Jota came on and they had a 8-minute hat trick or whatever it was? They just don't have those players available to come off. But I still like Liverpool here comfortable. 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, somewhere around that neighborhood is where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's a good spot for Pool just to keep trying to pick up points. Like, they don't care. Like, this isn't one like where it's going to be flashy or whatever, and like they're just going to try to come in here and scrap away like they did against West Ham. This is Forest are in a kind of a weird place here, and yeah, I mean, this is a weird match that I just don't think that there's a ton of value. Obviously, I think that a player I think that you would look towards players in these kind of lines at times, and like a player to me that's starting to click a little bit more is Darwin Nunez. Obviously, scored in the midweek, and a nice aerial cross from Samikas. He could have had a hat trick too. That's the other thing. So he hit the bar. He's really good. So I can't wait for I think that a lot of people, have kind of written him off after the headbutt scenario against Palace and the way that Liverpool have just started slow. I think that generally the public, and then you see Haaland just going ape shit basically and
right.
just crushing everything that he does. And people are maybe sleeping a little bit on Nunez, and you can find him in an anytime goal scoring market. And he's going to lead the line up front at a plus price against a defense that is, they're not in a good way. I mean, no. Forest, they kept a clean sheet though against Brighton. They only allowed 1 goal against Wolves, but Wolves were all over them. I watched that match, and they conceded 4 to Leicester, 3 to Fulham, 3 to Bournemouth. If they're conceding against teams like Villa and Wolves, they're going to have a problem. So I'd be looking Liverpool team total here, and I'd be looking at Nunez. I do think that he's in a good way right now, where I think that he can find the back of the net, and at plus money, it makes sense.
You just answered it for me there. I was going to ask you if you liked Liverpool win to nil more, because remember, Forest has only got 7 goals in 11 games, so to think that they're going to get a goal is a little bit of a stretch. Or do you like team total more? I like team total over 2.5. You mentioned the team total, so maybe you like that more than the win to nil?
Yeah, I think I would be on the team total more so than the win to nil in this one. But again, it's really just not a match that I'm looking to even get involved with. Just at least showing just a lean, hey, I think that Nunez is coming into good form, and I think that he can score here. But really, it's a pass match for me. I don't think I'll have any money on this match at all.
Myself and the viewing audience loves it. We needed somebody to pair Haaland with. It sounds like a Haaland Nunez parlay. is good right there. Maybe we'll see if we can't run through these other 9 matches and maybe find somebody else. You've got Everton at Goodison Park. They're welcoming Crystal Palace. This one smells like a nice low-scoring game. This one smells like a fixture in which Palace can maybe keep it going. They've got winners of 2 of the last 3. I like what Palace is cooking up. This is an opponent that they can handle they can handle Everton. Can they handle Everton at Goodison Park? Just gives me a touch pause. But I still like Palace here. I think Palace on the double chance. We always try to look for parlay pieces. Palace on the double chance. I can't see them losing against an Everton squad that isn't inspiring much confidence these days.
Yeah, I think that the Palace double chance is a beautiful parlay piece. Under -200 looks pretty good to me. I'm in the Palace camp for sure here. I think the Palace are just clear cut. You stack up the 11s, they're better. Yes. Everton had a nice stretch, over the last month or so where they were picking up some results where I think that, people were doubting them a little bit and whatnot. But so I'm gonna go with and cover my bases here. This is gonna be my first play of the week. I like Palace plus a quarter. The odds are not fantastic, but it is still under that -150 range.
Mm-hmm.
So Palace plus a quarter, -148 on Barstool. And if you shop around, there are some like -143s out there and 145. So just have a poke around, really. I think that if you can find this, right around that like -140 range, I think it's a go here. I like Palace. I trust Palace more. And I just think that they avoid defeat here.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that as well. That's why I've got them in a nice little parlay piece as a double chance. I think you could find some other good teams to parlay them with. Let's keep it going now against Manchester City at the Etihad. They're welcoming Brighton, a Brighton team that started off high. They've now lost 2 of their last 4 matches, winless in those last 4 matches. Just going to have it really tough going here at the Etihad. City's been dominating this fixture more times than not. I know recently it was maybe a 1-0 fixture, but there's some other lopsided scores in that head-to-head, as you would imagine. City team coming off rested. Again, they didn't play midweek. Had their game postponed against Arsenal, while Brighton was in action midweek, getting a draw. I'm going to go, obviously, to City. I need somebody to pair Haaland with. I like your Nunez pick, but I like that Liverpool team total. I also like City's team total here at over 2.5.
I like City's team total here.
Right.
I think that that's the way to look here is their team total. They're just going to get right after getting blanked.
Yeah.
And it's not like they didn't have some nice chances and stuff. So it's like, but I would go to this market really and looking at Haaland with his left foot. I mean, he's -210 to score. I think that he generally scores with his left foot, and you
Yeah.
can find it at -125 to score. And yeah, I like Haaland. I think that he'll bounce back here after not scoring, and he probably he was close to scoring multiple times.
2
in
headers.
that
He had 2 headers that were pretty damn
2
close.
headers, and then the Van Dijk clearance was not discussed enough this week. But that clearance in like the 75th, 80th minute was massive. He was all over it on that time, and so he got the better of Haaland. Van Dijk has gotten the better of Haaland every single time they've ever met. So they've faced now, I want to say it's 4 times, because I know that they faced him twice in the Champions League when he was at Salzburg, and he didn't score in those, and then he didn't score in the Community Shield, and he didn't score at Anfield. So I think that he's been blanked every time by a Virgil van Dijk led defense, but this is a completely different defense.
Right.
So let's focus on this one. I like Haaland to score with his left. -125 or 1.8 looks pretty sound, and I think that the team total angle of 2.5 is the only way to look here.
Team total, or you could maybe also do a Brighton and not score. They haven't scored in their last 3. Again, nice start to the season. Congratulations to Brighton, but we were waiting for the fall back to earth, and it's happening right now. And obviously, going up against City at the Etihad, they're going to have tough sledding. All right, let's move it over now to
Hold on, Jason. One more thing, real quick. Let's go through the last home matches. I mean, this could even be an alt line real quick, but look at their last home matches at the Etihad. They scored 4, they scored 6, they scored 6, they scored 4, and they scored 4. So team total is the way in here. And I mean, if you want to be safer, you could go over 3.5, or you could go over 3.25, and maybe just hope that Brighton could get on the score sheet, for example. But yeah, team total looks really, really strong here.
Yeah, I gave it out this morning, -113, I think, over at FanDuel at 2.5 goals for the team total, -113.
Love that.
Love that. Love that. So
They've covered an extra goal on that in their last five. They've scored 4 or more in their last 5 at home. So
yeah,
I think that cushion buffer will be nice.
and as you mentioned, you get the sweet, coming off Liverpool loss. Haven't even really factored that in. So, all right, let's go over there now to Stamford Bridge. This is probably the game of the weekend if you're looking at all 10 fixtures. Want to know which one you can't miss? Well, do not miss this one. It's Chelsea and it's Manchester United. I mentioned maybe can't miss just because it's two big boy clubs. But boy, when these clubs hook up, you do not see many goals. The last 4 head-to-heads of all cash under 2.5. 2 of those 4 have been 0-0-0-0. Matt, unfortunately, that's what I kind of see again today. I see both of these managers wanting to win the middle of the pitch. Both of them are probably going to try out 3 midfielders. Probably predictably much 3 it's going to be. Just like what Spurs did midweek against United. They brought in 3 midfielders, kind of clogged it up as long as they could. This time, though, I don't think a breakthrough is going to come. I already gave out under 2.5 at plus money. I'm not going to be surprised 0-0. Maybe somebody can nick a goal, but I think a very boring game played generally in the middle of the pitch. I see 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea blanked, in their last match against Brentford. They looked bad offensively right now. Chelsea just don't look like they're clicking right. They have the new managerial change is changing things. I mean, they opted for a 4-2-3-1 last week, and Sterling's on the bench, Pooley's on the bench, Aubameyang's on the bench. So this one for me is a wait and see because I can see goals happening in this match. I mean, there's a lot of quality. I think that United are creating a lot of chances, but this is a road match. We know that top 6 generally it's going to be tight. It's going to be pretty cagey. But I think of Graham Potter as being these are 2. Okay, I want to say this though: 2 extremely offensive-minded managers. You look at Graham Potter, offensively minded, and you look at your boy. He is extremely offensive minded. So, both want to play on the front foot. It's just, have they had enough time, in their managerial career with these teams to let them fully go and press on the gas? Because I think that maybe Potter right now is, maybe he's still a little bit tentative, just kind of coming into his new post. So, yeah, really no bet for me here. I would not be backing Chelsea though. I'll say that. If I had a lean, it would be with United plus a quarter at plus 105. I think that they're in kind of a good way right now, and I like how they have continued to drop Cristiano Ronaldo. I think that Ten Hag, for example, he's sticking to his guns, and you have got to love that, Jason.
Oh yeah, love it. Love it. Yeah, they haven't had a manager that's been tough, since Sir Alex Ferguson. Yeah, he's not even going to be in the squad. I don't know when he's going to come back into the squad. That may have been just what he wanted, right? He was trying to force his way out. Everybody believes in January, and mission accomplished. It seems like you succeeded. Refuse to come on, and then also leave the bench early. Yeah, that's going to get you out right there. Casemiro, you mentioned maybe having a lean towards United. They've looked really better since Casemiro has come into that starting lineup. Yeah. No big surprise. It took a while, but whatever reason, it's in there now. It's looking good. Both of their goals, though, against Tottenham were a little lucky. Obviously, Fred with the massive deflection. That should have been an own goal. Bruno has one fall to him. Hits it beautifully, but I don't know. I think that one easily could have been 0-0. They were all over Tottenham.
Bruno was lucky, but I think that they were creating other chances too that they didn't result into goals. But in the first half, they were all over them. And I mean, I think that this is a United spot. I'm going to wait on lineups. This one could be a late ad for me, just to see lineups, because I don't really know what Chelsea are throwing out there, but we know what United's lineup is going to be. We already know I like Rashford through the middle. He stretches defenses. It seems like they have a good blend now in midfield, but here's the reason that I want to back it is because Martinez and Varane, I think in their last 8 games, I believe I saw a set. I think they've won 6 of 8, and maybe 6 of those have been clean sheets. Am I off here? I need to figure that one out. I need to go back and look at that. But you can't deny the partnership right now. And then you look at the flip side of Chelsea's partnership, Koulibaly, and who is it going to be? Is it Silva? Is it
Who they
Who's
who they had midweek against Brentford? They just ran with the Koulibaly, yeah, from Napoli.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and but so like I trust United a little bit more here. I think that I know it's a road match, but like I think they avoid defeat.
I think Chelsea though is gonna. I mean, the Broja who started midweek against Brentford, he's coming out for a Bungay. Gallagher's coming out for a Sterling. So I feel like you even know what you're gonna get with Chelsea.
True.
I feel like I don't know. You've got goals. I've got low scoring. All right, so we see this one
Yeah,
different.
I'm kind of opposite with you. I'm gonna go. I would go with goals here. So yeah, I'm a little because I just like the offensive-minded managers, and I think you're right. I think it will be Sterling, Aubameyang, Kovacic will come back in, and then no Conte. So like
Yeah,
when
still
no
no.
Conte still, it's like that opens some things up, and yeah, I mean maybe United team total.
United team total. Get me excited over here. All right, let's go ahead and now move over to Aston Villa taking on Brentford. I was going to have in my notes that we needed to mention Steven Gerrard being the next manager to get sacked. And then he got sacked yesterday, rightfully so. Holy hell, is that team absolutely in dire straits. 7 goals scored in 11 fixtures. Somebody's got to come in and get somebody scoring, but I don't think you can just change that overnight. I don't think a new manager all of a sudden has better finishing. So I think Villa's still in a tough spot here. I don't know what's going to get with Brentford on the road. There's no way in hell I'm betting this because maybe you do get a manager bump, even though it's going to be an interim guy just kind of taking over here in the very short term. I don't know what to do with this match.
This is a banker bet.
Oh, you're
Okay,
on
so I
Brentford?
wanted to talk to you about this. I wanted to talk to you. This is the best bet of the week, I think. This is something I've already locked in, and I've locked it in a couple different ways. Is I think, and I was looking at the Gerrard press conference after yesterday and all that stuff, and he gets sacked. Just so you don't like Chelsea, Matt. From that. If you know what, he's right. I hate Chelsea. Like they are my least favorite team. But I'm not scared to back Chelsea. Like I thought that they were backable last week.
Yeah.
We talked about that match. They won against Villa. I
Mm-hmm.
liked unders there too, and I liked Chelsea and under 4.5. So come on, Pat. But I think that United are in better form right now. But going to this match, okay, I think that Gerrard, like obviously I'm a Liverpool fan. I love Gerrard. Read his autobiography. Like love that book, by the way, too. If you ever want a nice read that doesn't take too long, it's really good, and it might even change your opinion of Liverpool, Jason.
Nah.
Um, but so what else did you, what could have Gerrard have done really? Like that's the thing is like this roster, like it's so offensively challenged. Like he was basically trying to play matches tight and keep, avoiding defeat. Like what is the new manager going to be able to do here, Jason, to change things that Gerrard couldn't have done? I mean, you can't say that Gerrard didn't try here. And I think it's this roster. I think that they had some bad luck at the beginning of the year. They lost that center back from Sevilla,
Oh,
Diego
Costa.
Carlo. Remember that?
Yeah.
Carlos, yeah, and I mean, that was basically what I would say. That was the knife in the back of Gerrard right there. Like that kind of solidified that this was going to be a tough year because he's a kind of a world class center half that they lost, and they splashed a bunch of money for him, and so completely unrightfully sacked in my mind for the talent and the performances that these players are putting out there. The players are the ones to blame. Okay. And then Brentford, on the other hand, are starting to kind of catch back into form here. They have way more continuity, and Brentford can score goals. Where Villa need a worldie from outside the box to score here, Jason. This is a one unit on double chance Brentford. Because how are Villa going to score here? Like, why is this both team? Also, why is the both teams to score at -140? Yes, I would
Mm.
have this the other way around. I think that I would have it on the no at -140. But then I'm going money line here, Jason. I don't do this very often, but I mean +250. Give me Brentford here. I think that this isn't like a new managerial bounce situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is a calamity that the entire organization of Villa are having right now. Brentford, much better, much more well run than Villa. Give me Brentford here on the money line. They avoid defeat in the double chance. Yeah, find a way to get on Brentford here. I think this is a really good spot. Like, I don't think that this is all Gerrard's fault. I think it's the players.
I mean, yeah, they scored 52 goals last season in 38 games, and then this season they've got 7-11. So, yeah, players definitely take some ownership right there. So you're taking Brentford at around -140. I just looked; it looks like on the double chance.
Yeah. Just it's a little bit. Well, I locked in yesterday. I got 131. I think minus 131 on double chance.
Okay,
It's at 137 now. So I mean, it's moving.
you're right.
It's moving, and this is one where I would recommend. I would grab this now because I do think that this line is only going one way.
I mean, you mentioned though the offense. This is the same offense though from last season. I mean, these are the same guys they had. It's just not clicking. It looks like Brentford last season got a result in both fixtures. They got a draw and a win. I may have to come along with you on this one. I was a little
Yeah.
nervous
This
just with the
this is a
manager.
smash spot. This is
Yeah,
a smash spot. This could be the best. This is like this one kind of my eyes lit up on this one. Like I think that this might be the best spot of the entire season thus far. And so like I'm saying like this might need to be like more than just the normal banker 2 units.
okay, so we're all right. I'm.
You know what I mean? I
I
think
think
that
I'm
this
coming
is
along for
starting
the
to
ride.
formulate into something that's much bigger. This could be the best play we've seen in a while.
All right, you've convinced me. I'm coming along on the ride. I'll have to do some price shopping after this show, and I'll tweet out where and what. But I think I'm just going to come along on the double chance. I don't think I'll risk the money line, but I think that double
Yeah.
chance is. I think you've persuaded me, so I'm along for the ride.
Yep.
What about Leeds Fulham over 2.5 goals in Leeds versus Fulham?
Yeah.
Leeds at
Over
home.
2.5 goals. Over
Yes.
2.75, is probably where I'm going to go here. Just minus 120, minus 120, minus 121, a little bit
Hmm.
less juice. This match should have no problems getting over. I think that this
I
match
agree.
has 4 goals. I don't hate anybody like taking an alt line of like over 3.5 here. If you want to kind of go with like a ladder situation, go 2.5, 2 3/4, three, and 3 1/4 and 3.5, like just kind of like splitting up the units like based on that. I think that makes a ton of sense here. I think that Leeds will jump out and they'll play Fulham. Both of these teams like to play high octane
Oh yeah.
pressing offense, which is just it's incredible. Like I can't wait to watch this one.
Yesterday's game was so
And
much fun to watch with Fulham and Villa. They were all over them. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but I was just hammering the live bet of a goal in the first half. It was coming. It was coming. They were all over him. It was love to watch that.
yeah. That's fantastic stuff. And I wasn't able to watch it, which I'm kind of pissed about because I was working.
I'm seeing both
Yeah,
teams to
that's
score in over 2.5 at minus 110. That's got to be the bet for this game.
yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That's I think that's the way to go. And Leeds, they should be able to find the back of the net. Leeds have been struggling. Marsh is on thin ice right now. One thing that's nice though, the 2 players that are playing really well for them are both the Americans.
Yeah.
Aronson and Adams have arguably been their best players this season. So, love to see that. But yeah, this is a do not complicate it, and find a way to get on overs, and also just for the sake of who wins this match or whatever. I mean, there's probably a little touch on Fulham here of value.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Leeds, but this is Leeds at home. I don't want to get
I
involved like
agree.
betting against them at home, but the fact that Fulham are 270 here is kind of an ice. It's a scratcher, really, a head scratcher.
Yeah, and Fulham just scores wherever they go. They don't matter. They've got 6 goals in 5 away fixtures. No matter where they're playing, they're trying to get goals, and they've been exciting to watch all season long. So, love that right there. We were talking about Crystal Palace on that double chance and maybe finding somebody to parlay them with. Well, Southampton, they're taking on Arsenal. Arsenal just keep on winning. And now they're winning in more of a low scoring manner because you're getting the games coming hot and heavy and you're getting that squad rotation. But it doesn't matter because you've got that good feeling in the dressing room where they're just getting 1-0, 2-0 results. I'm on Arsenal right here again in some capacity. They're another parlay piece if you want to, like I said, a Palace double chance. Arsenal on the win and under 4.5 goals, I think, is a great play. Much like we did Chelsea last week of the money line under 4.5. If you want to keep it to a single play per se, that's probably the best one in this game.
Yeah, I mean that's minus 107.
I know. Oh yeah, they're not
That's
losing.
the only way. That's the only way. Like I don't like in this match. I don't really love like going Arsenal -1, for example. Like I think it's going to be tight. Like I think
Right.
that Southampton will be competitive at home here, and they're going to make it difficult. But I trust this Arsenal defense, and I trust this form that they're in. They just keep winning. This is another good bet. This is a good card, Jason, and
Yeah.
I think that Arsenal and under 4.5 at minus 107, it's got to be on there.
All right. I'm adding it to it. I've added 3 bets since we've been doing this show. I had some circles You're agreeing with me. I gave out 4 bets. I had some other ones circled. You're in agreement has maybe turned those circles into full-on bets. This next one, though, I'm not touching. I don't touch one where you have different contrasts, where you have Leicester that wants to score all the over 2.5s, and you have Wolves that wants to cash all the under 2.5s. That, to me, is an absolute stay-away match because of those two contracting styles. So because of that, Wolves-Leicester, I ain't going to sit back and watch this one. It's Tottenham taking on Newcastle. I'm going to sit back and watch that one. But, yeah, I want no part of this one, Matt. I don't even know how you figure out which strength is going to win, or which weakness can get exposed. I don't know.
Yeah, this match sucks. I think that Wolves are better. I'll say that. But I cannot trust them.
I can't trust them to score, man.
I can't
Five
I mean,
goals.
at
They've
least
scored
they got the
5
job
goals,
done.
Matt. They've scored 5 goals on the season. 5.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I watched a good amount of the Forest match last week. I mean, they were priced up. Where I said, getting Forest, and then it might be a little juicy, but taking the +1 at the -150, that ended up pushing, and I think that was the right way to go in that one, or the 3/4 or whatever. But Wolves, God, I know when these lineups come out, I'm going to be like, this is super pro Wolves. Mm-hmm. I think that Wolves are they're flat out better than Leicester. I know that they are, because they have that cohesion, that compactness. They can play defense. Leicester can't really play defense, and that's the problem.
And Wolves don't have anything to punish Leicester's weak defense, even though they've given up 24 goals in 11 matches. Wolves are they really going to punish it? I doubt it.
Well, they're not. And here's the other thing too: Leicester back-to-back clean sheets.
Yeah,
three out of the last 4 matches clean sheets. So maybe Leicester are turning a little bit of a corner here, where that just makes this a complete stay away. I have no interest betting this.
Yeah, exactly. I agree right there. All right, Tottenham and Newcastle. This one I will be watching. This one I'm expecting exactly what you got midweek of Tottenham, Newcastle, where Tottenham came out on the road and played 3 midfielders instead of 3 attackers. Newcastle on the road right here, they're going to put 3 midfielders in there, and they're going to park the bus here at White Hart Lane, and they're going to put up a nice Eddie Howe defensive performance. You add that with how Conte is going to set up. This one smells like under 2.5 goals. I already bet it and I already gave it out. I think this one's another 0-0 or somebody squeaks out a 1-0 win.
Yeah, this one is weird. I do not want to be with Tottenham here. I would rather be with the Newcastle.
Yes.
That's so crazy, but Tottenham looks so bad against United. This is one here. Give me a second here.
That's the one though where sometimes you watch games just like I do. If you look at the box score, it looks like Tottenham's bad, but it's kind of how they set up. They put 3 midfielders in it, and they just gave United the ball, and they just invited all the pressure, and they just hoped that they could hit Son and Kane on the counter like they did. We remember that's how they got Liverpool last time out with the Son and Kane on the counter. They could kill you on the counter, and that's how they played. So to me, it was more
this
how
is
they
a smash under spot, Jason. You're right. This is a smash under spot, and here's the reason.
Oh yeah, it's under.
These 2 pieces are everything. You start to realize Spurs form is going like this. Why? Because they're missing Kulusevski. What a big piece this guy is. Remember how many? He had over 10 assists in half of a Premier League season last year.
Yeah.
He is just a high IQ footballer. He's not he doesn't kill you with pace, but he's just that cheeky, left-footed player that knows how to cross the ball really well, and he will finish off chances. And here we go on October 21st. I think we have to wait a bit of time to see him with us. His recovery was going well, and then one day the situation worsened. When this happens, you must restart. That's not good.
I don't know.
Richarlison, Richie has his injury. It's not a serious one, but he needs a bit of time. He was really worried after the game against Everton. Both these guys are not playing, okay? So then what you saw against United is that Spurs had absolutely nothing to come off the bench to try and change the game. When United went up 1-0, there's nothing on Spurs bench is bad. It's all up to Son and Kane, and it's going to be counter-attacking situations. The only thing that they've got going for them in this match is that it's at home.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a Newcastle double chance and an under 2.5 game, and I gotta find a way. I gotta think about this one a little bit more. But I this is probably one I must wait for lineups. I think I want to see what Newcastle throw up there. I don't think that this line is going to move a ton. I think it's just going to stick right here. And so, but yeah, I could only be with the roadside and the unders with you. I don't want anything to do with this Tottenham team.
All right, good. Yeah, that one smells like a nice, good, boring game of football. All right, there's only one more game, and it's Monday afternoon. I can only imagine you're going to be all over West Ham here against Bournemouth at home. Something just tells me this is a classic spot for you to back West Ham. It's Monday to me, so of course I haven't given it much attention. I certainly haven't bet it. Need to see how the weekend goes. Of course, I would lean West Ham at home, but another team that is having their own scoring struggles in their own right. So I won't be backing it today. But I assume you're back in West Ham, if I had to take a guess?
Well, I haven't locked it in or anything yet, but the play here, I mean, it's got to be with getting on West Ham here at home. I think that Bournemouth, though, like here's the thing: is Bournemouth they just lost their first match in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That defeat that they just suffered to Southampton, who I mean, I rate a lot lower than West Ham, but like, look, I mean, they've had a lot of draws. They've been scrappy. 2-2 against Fulham. They beat Leicester. 0-0 against Brentford. 1-1 against Newcastle. A lot of those teams, Jason, are kind of in the West Ham vein. This is one where, I mean, the draw is a pretty big price here at plus 320. Like, I do want to be with West Ham because I know that they're better. I know that they're at home. They beat Liverpool on the XG at Anfield. So it's not like they put in a good shift. They put in a solid performance. Missed penalty. That obviously goes to the XG. But it was a pretty even match at Anfield. And then, so if you can play Liverpool pretty tough there, and then you get this against Bournemouth, who I'm still I just don't know enough about them. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping me away here. I may need to go back and do some digging on Bournemouth and really see like how some of these results have occurred. But yeah, if you're looking at this, I think that the way in would be West Ham and over 1.5 goals at under minus 110.
Nice. I like a good team total on a Monday afternoon. I can totally get behind that one. All right, let's
After a big weekend.
After a what? After a big weekend? Yeah.
After a big weekend that we're gonna have.
All right, I've officially already price shopped while you were giving your analysis of those, so I'm ready to give out a couple bets and also include the best price. I just finished betting that last one. Do you? What bets do you have? You said you already locked in the Brentford double chance,
So,
the Brentford money line.
Brentford double chance, Brentford money line, and then I staked those units a little bit differently. So like obviously like if it ends in a draw, I don't want to just like push out of it. So I've got a little bit more on the double chance than I do on the money line in Brentford. I think that's the best play of the week. I have some on Leeds Fulham over 2.75. I'm going to get on Man City team total with you. And I like Palace. Palace would probably be my least like favorite one, but I have some Palace plus a quarter in pocket already as well.
All right, I love that right there. All right, you've convinced me to add. I've added to my card Brentford double chance minus 137. Best prices at Barstools or Bet Rivers. Arsenal and under 4.5 goals minus 107. Best prices at Barstools and Bet Rivers. Leeds, Fulham, both teams to score and over 2.5 minus 107. Best prices over at FanDuel. So, and then the other ones I gave out this morning, people know about under 2.5 in Chelsea, Man United, under 2.5 in Tottenham, Newcastle, and then I did the team total of over 2.5 for both City and Liverpool. So it looks like I've got 7 bets this Premier League weekend.
Yeah, this is a good card.
Not
this
to
is
mention,
a good card.
Matt, let's cook up an anytime goal scoring parlay. I'm going to go to Barstools. They've got the best prices. I'm going to make one right now. I'm throwing in Nunez. I'm going to take you up on that. He's leading the line for us. Holland. I need one more.
Nunez, Holland.
Should we go to somebody in the Fulham? Should I get Mitrovic?
Probably. I mean, probably. Yeah. I would think maybe you would go with the more like the favorite there, and you would rather be with Bamford just because of that line.
Mm-hmm. So you said Nunez.
And
Nunez is plus 1.
You know one? Ivan Toney.
Oh, against Villa?
Tony's one to consider, man. He's in great form too. He's been scoring left and right. He's like top 3 right now in the league in terms of goals. So Tony
Plus
is
185.
oh,
Oh, he's in.
yeah. I mean that's gonna really boost it up nice.
All right, so you say Bamford and not Mitrovic? Go with the Fulham player, or I mean, go with the Leeds
Just be,
player?
just because they're favorites at home, I would just go with Bamford. But that's a tricky one.
Not Rodrigo.
Not Rodrigo.
All right, Bamford. So this four-legged parlay of Holland, Nunez, Tony, Bamford pays 22 to 1. That's going to get some free arbitrage money. Love it.
I love it.
All right, cool. Anything else you want to talk about on this Friday, or should let the people go? DJ's
CMC to the
he's
9.
coming along with you on your. That's the Brent. I could tell by plus 250. You've convinced him Brentford is the play this weekend. My man is on.
Yeah. Brentford. I would be shocked. I mean, Brentford are better too when you stack up the 11s. I think that they're a touch better. Here's the other thing. They've got a guy in Tony that we're just talking about that scores goals. Where is the goal scorer on the opposite side? And what's the fan base going to be reacting to? This could be hostile. Like let's say Brentford goes up 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
What happens here at Villa Park? So
Love it. All right, thank you for this anytime goal scoring parlay too.
yeah, it'll be a fun one.
Okay. All right, Matt. There's Premier League match week number 13. We'll of course come back next week. I assume there's Champions League midweek. It's got to be Champions
Yes,
League
I
midweek.
believe there is.
Okay, so next time we'll come back. We'll be late sometime next week. Only a couple more weeks, folks, and then obviously we're off for a month, and we'll shift our attention to the World Cup. So enjoy Premier League match week number 13. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Good luck with your bets here in the Premier League this weekend. Well, guys, we'll catch up with you next time.